What's up, guys? John here with Freedom Athletics. We're going to talk about how to run MyFitnessPal. Okay, might be seem like pretty intuitive, but we're going to go over just a few tips and tricks and kind of how I like to address what's going on. There are a lot of numbers to look at. I'm going to show you which numbers I find most valuable for beginners. Also, some kind of efficiency tips on how to get some recipes logged in there. Just that way, you don't have to just have your bowl of meat, bowl of rice, bowl of veggies, and then absolutely weigh it out. This way, you have a little bit easier time, making some recipes that the whole family can enjoy. Also, something you can take with you to holiday parties. So, looking here, this is on the PC or the desktop here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through it. I'm going to set my goals here. It'll look a little bit different than on the phone, but the gist will be the same. You'll see what I'm looking at. Okay, so I hit goals here. Under daily nutrition goals, I'm going to go ahead and edit that. Okay, right here, if you have premium, you could set these by grams. I have premium currently. You could set custom daily goals, things like that, depending on whether it's a workout day or a rest day. Super handy, not necessary, but if you don't have premium, you don't want to pay for premium, chances are you'll set it by percentage. Okay, so setting it through the percentage, you're going to have your calories that you got from the total daily energy expenditure calculator that I mentioned earlier in the macronutrient guide. And if you know that, you can see the breakdown, the numbers I recommend, the start points, and you'll just have to get as close as you can. Okay. Again, with the fat levels, we want it around 0.3 to 0.4 grams of our body weight. If anything, we want to be a little bit higher, okay? Because we don't want to go too low to depress the hormone function. Then the protein at or just above our body weight in grams per pound. And then the remainder of the calories, depending on the deficit or the surplus that we want. And the rest of the calories allotted to carbohydrates, just because carbs make the world go round, okay? So from here, this is where I would change that. So when I go back to my diary, okay, how to log a food. As you can see, I already have some foods logged for today. Had a shake before working out, some bananas and a mandarin orange after that. And then for lunch, I just had a patty, and I've also allotted a snack for later, okay? So first off, the things I care about, okay, when we look here, down here, the daily goals, okay? My daily goal for today is 2,384 calories for the day, okay? I have taken in 815 so far. That means I have 1,569 calories remaining for the day. We'll come over here to the breakdown. So calories in, calories out is the first and foremost. The next number I care about, okay? The stupid simple way. Calories and, you guessed it, protein. Okay, so over here, my goal for the day, 221 grams of protein for the day is my goal. I've taken in 97, or will take in 97 as soon as I have this 000 yogurt for the snack later. Okay, that means I have 124 grams of protein remaining to take in for the day. The other two numbers, carbs and fat, are right here. I've taken in 87 carb, 10 grams of fat. And so I have 108 grams of carbs remaining and 70 grams of fat remaining. Okay. My goal for the day is to get within 5 to 10 grams of each. Okay. Within 5 is like superstar status. Okay. If you get within 5, the calories will take care of themselves. Might be a little off just because depending on the log that you use. But when we focus on the macros, the calories kind of take care of themselves. But if you can't hit all the macros, you need to start paying attention to the calories and the protein just to make sure we don't get too out of hand. Like I hit my protein goal, but I also shot over by 1,000 calories on my carbs and fat. So that's where we run into issues. But if we can hit all three macros within 5 to 10 grams, we're doing pretty darn well. Okay. That is what I care about on this page, okay? You can see how the different foods impacted. So one mandarin orange had 11 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein. The 2 bananas had 54 grams of carbs, 3 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat. The gold standard whey protein, 8 grams carbs, 3 grams of fat, 48 grams of protein. And then you can see the chicken patty here, from Simple Truth, 1 gram of carb, 6 grams fat, 30 grams protein. Okay. There are also these other numbers here, sugar and sodium. If you're eating super clean, your sodium intake is going to be just fine. Okay. And if anything, sodium intake has been grossly kind of demonized in the past few years. There are a ton of studies coming out that sodium is actually not the devil that we thought it was. So that's another topic for a whole nother day. So by and large, the four that I want you to worry about: calories, carbs, fat, and protein. Okay. If we can hit those, we're good. Okay. So if I were to add a food, let's say for lunch, I come over here. Okay, I had a chicken patty. I'm going to have, probably not going to have this today because I don't think we have any, but say I had a tuna. Okay. So 1 can of tuna, let's say chicken of the sea, right? I like to get as specific as I can. Okay. Like with the brand and stuff like that, just because the logs tend to be a little more accurate than the generic ones. So 1 can, chicken of the sea. Okay, we could take a look at the nutrition info here. For 1 can, 11 grams of protein, 1 gram of fat. That doesn't seem super accurate to me. So let's take a look at a different one. And I could be wrong too. This is a little more appropriate, okay? So this is why you check what's on there. It's hard for me not having the can here. Another bonus of the premium feature is you actually have access to the barcode scanner, so you can just scan the can as you put it in there. But here, like for the serving, 1 of 0.5 of a can, if I do 1 can, 26 grams of protein. That's a lot more accurate, 2 grams of fat, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and log that. Add my food to diary to lunch. As you can see, came down here, populated right in the lunch section there, 26 grams of additional protein, and you can see how it impacted the numbers, okay? Now, let's get a little more advanced, okay? So as we know, like playing macro Tetris at the end of the day sucks, okay? So pro tip, what I like to do is what I've already done here. After dinner, I know I'm going to be hungry, okay? So what I do is I log a snack for post-dinner. Okay, I like something super light so it doesn't impact my sleep a ton. Get some carbs, get some protein in there right before bed. Okay, so adding the snacks at the end of the day, pretty big deal for me personally. If you're the type of person who doesn't get super hungry later in the day, it might not be as big of an issue. Okay, another pro tip: it is the morning here for me. Okay, I'm going to log my dinner now, or like as soon as I can. Okay, that way, while I'm fresh, awake, I just had lunch, I'm not hungry, I can focus on playing what I like to call macro Tetris earlier in the day. So I already know what's for dinner. Okay, because when you get home, the family, the gremlin gets back from school, the wife gets back from work, like everybody's kind of hungry and kind of feisty, a little tired. That's not the time to be staring at your phone, in my opinion, trying to find something that fits. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I might not have this exact recipe, but I'm going to use a recipe to show how it would fill in for dinner and then backlog to complete my full day. Okay, so under recipes, I have a ton of recipes here that I've used over the past few years. Yes, don't make fun of me for the names I have on there. Super creative, beanless chili, shield beef. It's literally just like beef mixture. Not really a gourmand, as it were. But what I can do is we can come into all recipes. Okay, it used to be coming back here. It used to be all these were manually entered. Okay, under this thing right here, I'd type a name and I would enter the ingredients. That's super annoying. Okay, thankfully, MyFitnessPal has realized that, and they allow you to populate a URL here. So I'm going to come over to all recipes. I don't think there's it's fall, so soup's on, and I don't think there's anything better than taco flavored stuff. I could have tacos every single day and not be tired of it. So how about taco soup, right? So say I'm going to a tailgate on Saturday, I can actually bring this along and know what's going into there so I can actually hang out with people. That's also cool. Another reason why recipes are kind of a big deal. Okay, holiday parties coming up, tailgate season happening. Out of that, or just something your family, like my little 5-year-old, will actually eat, um, rather than just like cooked ground beef and white rice. Takes a little bit of coaxing, but we usually get that done. So let's say slow cooker taco soup, because slow cookers are awesome because you set it and forget it. So this one, prep time 10 minutes, like that. Let's turn the advertisement off. Cook time 8 hours. Totally fine with me. Something I can make in the morning. Probably missed missed the mark a little bit not starting this earlier if I was going to actually make this today, but this point still stands. Really quick prep time, long cook time. Just set it and forget it. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to look at the ingredients, see what's all in there. Ground beef, onion, beans, corn, tomato, chili pepper, taco seasoning. All looks pretty darn good. We'll see. We'll make that work as far as like our amounts and stuff like that for some our numbers that we have. Then I'll show you some tips and tricks along with that. But for now, we're going to come up here to the top and I'm going to highlight the address or the URL. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to stick it in here. Excuse me. So we come in here, all those ingredients populated right there. Okay. Now MyFitnessPal is going to match the ingredients. Boom. Awesome. 10 ingredients. Awesome. We matched 10 out of 10 ingredients. You can do this on your phone as well. I think it's a little bit nicer on like the full computer, but the phone is just fine. So come down here. If it didn't match, like I've seen it, so to where it doesn't, oh, new ingredient. It's like, oh, couldn't find this one, right? Another recipe for like a chili recipe. I saw beer in there one time. So like it couldn't match the type of beer. So just like type in Coors Light, see if I'm going to add the beer to that. Oh, cool. So right there, one can, one of those, bang. Okay, item matched. It's all in there, ready to go. Okay. Obviously, this one doesn't call for beer, but you know, cooking beer in there probably not the worst thing in the world, especially since the alcohol cooks off. But for now, obviously, alcohol, that's a whole nother topic as far as like fat loss goes, and health and wellness in general. But we'll leave it in there for now just to prove a point. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna save and log it. I'm gonna do it today. Let's do dinner and 1 serving. Okay. This is just a really nice way to get it. To log into the day. Oh man, possibly. Save. All right, so we'll come back to recipes. Okay. So it doesn't want to log. Let's retry this. Okay. Save the recipe. Boop. Go on now. I hype it up, and this is what happens. Okay, we'll try it one more time here. Okay, well that didn't work. So what we're gonna do, I'm not sure why it's not logging the URLs right now, but as you can see, I have a few uh, in here already. Same principles apply. Put it in there, match the ingredients, log it to the day, and now I'm going to kind of show you how to adjust the serving sizes to kind of meet your needs. B, how to like pick and choose through the ingredients a little bit to kind of make it a little bit more beneficial for you. Okay, so I'm going to use one super basic egg roll in a bowl. Okay, and make sure I already have logged. What we're going to do, we can come here. When we have the recipe in there, all 4 ingredients, yes, I know. Again, a gourmand when I have to make up my own, or more likely my wife has to make up her own because she is definitely the better cook of the family. I will disavow any knowledge of saying that if you guys quote me on that. Um, but so we can come back to this. Say the taco soup recipe did in fact do that, and MyFitnessPal wasn't doing maintenance or whatever they're doing right now, and it logged. I could come back here. I could check the nutrition facts. Okay, this being what it is, 6 grams of fat, 3 grams of total carbs, and then 17 grams of protein. Okay, we can come back as well on here and say we do fried rice. Okay, because I know I need a little more carb. So we come here a little bit more extravagant. 9 grams of 9 grams of fat, 23 grams of carbs, 16 grams of protein. Okay, so want to see the ingredients here. There are a couple things that kind of stick out to me. Like, I would personally love if I were to redo this recipe. I'm going to try and up that protein because per serving, 16 grams of protein is not that much for anybody. Okay, it's like kind of like a Cliff Bar claiming to be a protein bar when it only has less than 10 grams of protein. That's ridiculous. It's a carb bar. Anyways, I digress. So coming back here, you'll notice the servings up here say 17. Okay, that's why 17. That seems really ridiculous. So fried rice from 2022. That's the reason it's called what it is, but servings. So say you don't know how many you don't want to have your scale with you, okay? So say I brought this to a party. What's one thing you could do? I'll mix this all together to kind of have a really, really good idea of what's in each thing. I'm going to take a big bowl and I'm going to take a cup, okay? A serving cup. And I'm going to scoop it out and make sure it's level. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to count how many cups of stuff are in there because these calories are not going to change. If we know how many cups are in there, we can use cups as our serving size and adjust how many cups we intake to make sure the numbers fit within our day. Hopefully that's tracking. So another thing we can also do instead of adjusting the serving sizes, okay? We'll say there were 10 cups in there, okay? I'm going to save that. I come back here, fried rice. Let's check out the nutrition facts now. All of a sudden, 40 grams of protein of carbohydrate per serving, 28 grams of protein per serving, and 16 grams of fat. That's pretty darn good, okay? You'll notice the calories 400. For some of us, as we get deeper into a deficit, like we start getting those last few weeks of our fat loss cycle, 16 grams of fat could be upwards of like a quarter of our day or a third of our day for some people, depending on your size and weight and stuff like that. So a really, really good way to save on fat is to adjust this right here. Okay, so ground turkey, 93% lean, not super terrible. Okay, so if I come into edit recipe just to show you, 93% lean for a pound, 38 grams of fat, 85 grams of protein. Does everybody see that? Okay, so if I come down here, let's just edit the quantity for 80%. Let's say it was just a pound. Not 1,900, 1 pound. 1 pound, okay, of 85% ground beef is 68 grams of fat and even less protein, 84 grams of protein. Okay, so the leanness of the meat is a really, really good way to save on fat. If you know and have been paying attention through the macro guide, you know that I will take the fat down to just about the minimum levels to maintain hormone function. And I'll allot everything else to protein and carbs because they have more benefits once they come into higher quantities than fat does once we reach minimum levels. Okay, so I've made this little thing to kind of prove my point here. So these are different breakdowns of ground beef. All right, so 80-20 being the cheapest. This is what most burgers at like restaurants are made out of. 85-15, probably a good bang for your buck. 90-10, starting getting leaner. 93-7, 96-4 you can actually find. But most commonly, you'll only be able to find 93-7. So 93% lean, 7% fat. Okay. So if we come over here, let's compare your favorite restaurant burgers. This is another reason why we don't like to eat out as like very often when we're trying in a fat loss phase, because you don't know what you're getting most of the time. Okay. So an 80-20 burger. Okay. We come over here. In 1 pound of that, there are 1,100 calories in there. Why? Because there are 92 grams of fat. Fat has per gram of fat, it has 9 calories. That is a ton, as opposed to protein that has 4. So 92 grams of fat, 92 grams of fat in there, massive difference. Okay, over the course of a week, that means if you eat a pound a day, 8,100 calories per week just from the meat. Okay, so if you were to cut that to say 90-10, let's kind of shoot the gap a little bit, right? 800. We've already saved 360 calories in 1 pound. Over the week, it dropped it to 5,600 calories as opposed to 8,100. That's a savings of 2,500 calories per week. And what we know from nutritional science, roughly 3,500 calories in 1 pound of body mass. So if you were to just change that, you would lose 0.7 pounds per week. That's insane. That's only if you're eating 1 pound a day. For a guy like me who eats 2 pounds a day or tries to, that's a savings of 5,000 calories a week. That is 1.4 pounds lost per week. If I do nothing but change which ground beef I choose, that's going to make a pretty big impact. If you're a lady and you only eat a pound and a half, you're still saving, basically, you're saving 3,700 calories a week. If you take that up to the 93.7, you're saving 5,000. That's 1.44 pounds per week. That's a massive difference. So if you're say you just ate burgers every single day, but you go out to eat the 80-20 burger, right? Because it tastes the best, because the fat's the highest. Like, you go out to eat, you have a delicious burger every day. You're eating those calories, right? Versus you make it at home with 93.7 up here. You have a pound and a half every single day. Nothing changed. You've saved 5,000 calories over the course of a week. This is like mind-blowing, okay? You will lose 1.44 pounds per week. That is unbelievable. If you get it up to 96.4, that's almost 2 pounds a week. And if you eat 2 pounds a week, 2 pounds of meat per week, that's 2.4 pounds of mass lost per week. That's insane. Just that one change. Anyways, I digress. This was pointed out to me the other day, and it's mind-blowing. So, coming back to the fried rice. If I look at this ground beef, 85. So not the 80-20, but say I want to make it leaner because my fat's pretty low. I'm going to replace. Okay? Ground beef, 93.7. Boop. Let me scroll down here. Okay. So we come down here. 26 grams of fat right here. Okay, for 1 pound. Let's add to the recipe. Okay, that changed it from 60 to 26. That makes a massive difference. Okay, so I'm down here, broccoli coleslaw just for a little substance, mushrooms, red onion, nothing really worth noting here. Ground turkey, again, you could change this if you want to just do 2 pounds of lean ground beef. It would take it to 26, you'd save 10 grams of fat in the whole thing. Okay. So, I'm going to save it. So now I go back to here. Okay? Servings. I scooped it out. So if there were 10 cups in that, all of a sudden it's 7 grams. That we halved it just by changing one ingredient, making the beef a little bit leaner. Pretty big difference. Same carbs, and the protein even went up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to log that. I'm going to do dinner today. I'm going to start with 1 serving just to see how it plays. Okay. All right. We have 61 grams of fat left, 77 grams protein, and 69 grams of carbs left. Okay. So it's 1 cup. Knowing me, I'm probably going to have 2. So I come down here. 56 grams of protein left, 29 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat left. Okay, so all 2 big things. Now I can add a little bit more for lunch. Okay, come back up here. So instead of 1 can of tuna, Let's go to 2. Protein got a little bit better. Carbs are pretty close. Fat's pretty close too. So to the fried rice, maybe add some avocado. Actually, let's do a snack. Almonds. Almonds are a good weight loss snack, right? So 1 ounce of almonds. 14 grams carbs, 6 grams, or 14 grams fat, 6 carbs, 6 protein. Cool. Let's go and add that. And see how we're sitting. Fat's a little bit better. Protein's good. Protein's getting there. Carbs are getting there. And if you ever had almonds, guess what? Probably 2 ounces. Coming there. Boom. 18, 25, 17. So this is the process I would go, and I would just keep adding foods until these went down to like within 5. Okay. If I wanted to, I could have 2. Say about the big Oikos 000. I could have 2 of their servings. All of a sudden, carbs and protein are right in there. And then fat is the only thing I need to add back a little bit. 25 grams of fat. Okay. So what we could do, let's see. Plain tuna is lame. Let's do some my avocado. 1 medium avocado. Let's try that. Okay. 1 medium avocado, 13 grams of carbs, 22 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein. Okay. We're within 5 to 10 of each. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk that I missed the carbs by 9. I'm still under in the fat, and I nailed it on the protein. Okay. And right here, I still have 39 calories remaining, so I'm still in a deficit. Okay. So this would be a really, really good day. Water intake and all that stuff doesn't account for it. MyFitnessPal does like to sync up to like smartwatches and phones and stuff like that to do fitness. I like to disallow that just because like this deficit already takes into account kind of your activity level throughout the day. Okay, so having it add calories and stuff like that doesn't really do much. For me as a nutrition coach, I like to advise against that. That way, apples to apples, like, okay, every day I had this number. If I'm not losing weight, guess what? I'm going to take it down a little bit. Or if I'm not gaining weight, guess what? I'm going to take it up a little bit. So we've done how to set your goals. You can do rest day versus workout day, all that. Is it only if you have premium. We went over to log of food. Okay. Went in there, we logged a whole day. Things to focus on. We like the 4 numbers that really matter. Calories and protein first, followed by carbs and fats second. The rest of it, not super concerned about. Okay, we went over how we tried to upload a taco soup recipe, but MyFitnessPal freaked out a little bit, so we used a recipe that I already had in there. Showed you how to modify that to save some calories and stuff like that. As far as the meat's concerned, you could also up the carbs in there by adding a little bit more rice. You could up the fat intake if you needed to throw in. You could throw in a little avocado or a little oil and stuff like that in there. It's up to you. Okay, whatever fits you a little bit better. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. Please share the macro guide with your friends, family, loved ones. A lot of free information in there. Hopefully it helps some people out. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. Bye.